Alright, today we're going to be looking at a window that won't go up or down, left rear window. It's on a 2002 Chevy Impala. You can see the glass is free floating. More than likely it's a broken window regulator. It's down inside the door, so it raises and lowers the glass. So we're going to take out this interior trim panel on the door, get inside and replace the regulator. Alright, to get this particular trim panel off, one of the first things you have to do is inside by the door pull, there's a single screw that's come out here, has to come out, and down in the door handle there are two screws. Those are the next three things that you got to do. Okay, with that one screw removed from the door pull, the door handle there, and the two from the interior of the door panel here, once you pop this piece of trim work up, the next thing you have to do is disconnect that electrical wiring harness that goes to the power window switch. Okay, with that door pull removed, you can see down inside there, the next thing is to take out these two screws that hold the whole trim panel onto the frame of the door there. With those two screws being out, the next thing you want to do is start to pop this trim panel off of the door. There are no more screws. What they use on the inside are plastic fasteners, like clips. You got to be a little gentle with those so you don't break them. I recommend picking up this tool. It's a trim panel removal tool. It costs about 10 or 12 bucks in an auto parts store, and it helps to safely lift this panel off of the frame without breaking those plastic clips. Okay, after prying on the edge with that trim panel removal tool, you can see how it starts to come off here. And you're going to want to remove this small triangular piece of trim plastic on the interior to help get the rest of the door panel off. Once you have that interior trim panel off the whole door, you can see you're left with this white, this is like a sound deadening and water vapor barrier insulation. It's held on with a light adhesive, a little glue. You just want to carefully peel that off of the door. Okay, with that vapor barrier and insulation piece removed, you can see the inner workings of the door. Closer on the right side here, you've got the three bolts that hold in the actual window motor. And then just over to the left, you've got one top bolt here and two bottom ones here. And these hold in the lift track that actually lift and lower the glass. What you're going to want to do is get inside this hole and loosen that bolt, and also on the right here, and these are the ones that actually hold the glass to the mechanism. So you want to release that glass so you can take the mechanism out. Go ahead and lift the glass up. As you can see, I've lifted the glass up into the frame. I've got it duct taped up, and I've used some type of barrier, plastic bag or whatever, just to protect the paint and the door frame from the glue and the adhesive. That you're going to have some residue on the glass that comes off easily with some rubbing alcohol. And this is the old regulator, simple electric motor here that powers this cable. This is the lift track, and I don't know if you can see it, but when that top black cable comes out of that top white track right here, that's when your lift will fail and your glass will stop moving up and down because of that. And here's the new piece. You can see that cable runs into the white lift track there, and just reverse the process now. Get this back in the door. Be careful working with the sharp edges going into the door frame, and that's it. Alright, the new regulator is installed. Quick and easy. 3 bolts on the right, 3 on the left, and the wiring harness reconnected to the motor. Next step is to drop the glass down and then reconnect it at the connection tabs. Do one through this hole and one through this opening over here. Just be careful not to over tighten the bolts on the glass so you don't. Alright, the glass reinstalled. You can see it's securely bolted back in there. Next thing to do is just reinstall that vapor barrier and just put it back where it was. Feed the wiring harness for the power window switch through the hole in the vapor barrier, as well as the vapor barrier goes back on pretty easily. Just re-tack that adhesive. Try to make sure these little holes line up to where your plastic clips are going to go that are going to hold the interior trim panel on, the door panel. Go ahead and grab the door panel, snap it back on, just kind of pop it in place. And alright, well, the final steps with that door panel back on, it just pops into place. Just kind of slap it with your hand to get those interior retainer clips to hold. You're going to reinstall this one screw by the door handle. Down inside the hole, there are 2 screws here. Very important to hold this whole panel to the frame of the car. Reinstall this switch plate, the door pull, reconnect your wiring harness, and also reapply this small triangular piece of trim on the inside. Job's done. As you can see, window powers up and down on its own. Simple window regulator replacement.